what they need in here is what is lacking out here. Folks, today on the Stoney Ridge Farm Channel, we're going to talk to you about minerals, cows, rotational grazing, regenerative farming. It's going to be awesome. Hope you enjoy. Woo! Hey there, folks. This is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to another gorgeous day here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. We're out here in the cow pasture. It's early in the morning. We got an inch of rain last night, and I can hear the grass going, yee, trying to grow. Guys, we're on a regenerative farm here. Regenerative farm means we're not bringing in a lot of outside inputs and we're rebuilding the soil. We're in the Piedmont region of North Carolina where the Piedmont meets the mountains. This is some of the most highly eroded, poor soil in our nation. Today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk a little bit about the cattle operation that we have here, and we're gonna talk about the free choice mineral feeder that we just instituted onto our farm probably about 3 months ago. I'll post a link to that video at the end of this video. This is it. This is how we do it. And the soil is lacking minerals and the cows know what it's lacking and they eat it and they poop it out and they feed the soil. So without further ado, let's get busy and we'll show you guys what the heck we got going on here.
Stoney Ridge Farm, Stoney Ridge, Stoney Ridge Farm.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm. If this is your first time or your 50 millionth time, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. This video is brought to you in part by our friends at True Work. In most every video description, there's a link to True Work work clothes. It's what I wear on the farm year-round here. Super comfortable work clothes. You don't see me out here in jeans sweating my butt off. I'm in lightweight clothing. Lightweight clothing, and keeps the bugs off, keeps those chiggers and ticks from biting too. In my opinion, keeps them out of your pants. So this is what we have. This is called a free choice mineral feeder. Free choice mineral feeder means that the cows have a choice. The cows get to choose what minerals they need, and cows need minerals. That's their Gatorade. You need minerals. We all need vitamins and minerals. Well, they get their vitamins and protein, mostly from the grass, and then they get some supplementation with minerals. Our soil is lacking vital nutrients and minerals, and therefore will not produce good grass, and the pH will not be correct for growing good grass unless we provide the correct minerals for our cows to thrive. When the cows thrive, the pasture thrives. The cows were grazing this yesterday. Do you see big old manure pats? Do you see that this is not grazed all the way down to the nub this high? This is grazed down about, I would say about 8 inches high, maybe 9, maybe 10. And what we do, we have to think about this, is that each little tiny blade of grass is a solar panel. That solar panel is pulling energy from the sun via photosynthesis and growing the grass. If we chomp the grass all the way down to this high, it stunts the growth of the grass and the cows don't get as good of a diet. This is salad bar beef. This is a term coined by my friend Joel Salatin. Salad bar beef means that we don't have a monocrop, we have a multi-species pasture out here for the cows. You'll see what other farmers would call weeds, what I call multi-species pasture. The cows can't simply eat one thing their entire life and still remain healthy. So therefore, with a multi-species pasture and the rotational grazing program that we have here on the farm, which means we move the cows twice a day in the summertime. I know what you're thinking. No, man, that takes forever, man. You got to check your animals anyway. You're out here in the pasture, you're checking your animals. It takes literally 3 minutes to open a gate because the cows get trained every single day. So first thing in the morning, we move them. Right before bedtime, we move them. We move them to a different paddock of grass and they're constantly eating, munching, munching, munching. What we're out here to talk to you guys today about is the free choice mineral feeder that I implemented probably 2 months ago onto our farm practice. And that was brought to you by our friends at Heifer USA, helping feed people that are hungry, good quality food. There'll be a link to those guys. They have an awesome YouTube channel where they travel around and visit other farms. And that's where I got the idea from this and my friend Greg Judy out in Missouri. Great guy. So without further ado, we're going to go into a little detail of what the cows have been eating because I think it's interesting. This is a cafeteria style mineral feeder. You can see all the various minerals right in here. There's 20 different minerals in this mineral feeder. If you walk around just like so, you can see all the other minerals. What we need to know here, And you can see we're out of some minerals right here. What we need to know, the most important thing we need to know is whatever mineral that the cow is eating is something that the cow needs in its rumen, in its stomach, in its body. It passes through the cow and goes right back out on the land. There's a lot of ridiculous tripe out there about cows and how much water they consume. Guys, it goes in the cow's front and out the cow's back. I don't understand how that could be a problem. And water is one of the most plentiful resources on the planet. It is. It comes out of the ground here in North Carolina. Now, if you live in a desert climate, there's no water there. Okay, don't live in a desert climate and you won't have to worry about that. I don't know, man. We're keeping lawns up in Arizona, but watering cows for food seems to be off-putting. Let me know what you think about that. That's ridiculous in my opinion. So, these minerals go through the cows. That was my politics, by the way. These minerals go through the cows and back out on the land. And what have we noticed? I've been testing a few plots out here. In other words, I didn't move this with the cows last night because I'm testing this next food plot over here where I've got the cows in there. I'm testing it to see if putting the mineral in there with the cows makes any difference. That's Tammy, our donkey. So what are the cows eating? Why are they eating this? Why is the soil lacking in specific minerals? It's because this land has been over-farmed. For centuries, this land was farmed until it eroded all of the topsoil off. The conventional wisdom around here, and this is a lot of tobacco country around here, conventional wisdom was every year to turn and disc and plant and spray, and turn and disc and fertilize and plant and spray. And what that did was destroy the topsoil. It all ran down in the creek and it all ran out into the Cape Fear River Basin or the Chesapeake Bay, which is bad, very bad. You've got topsoil in the Midwest and you better not squander it because it's going to be gone too. The only reason we have topsoil is because of ruminant roaming animals. Those trees will not produce topsoil like an animal out here on this pasture or like the great herds of bison that have roamed the continental United States for eons. So without further ado, let's show you what minerals we're going to have to replenish. So I came out here in the pasture, I took a snapshot of what minerals I was missing, and when you order a free choice mineral feeder like this, you get yourself a pallet of minerals. Now the minerals come in a little bag just like this, right here. This is the bag. Inside this bag is a plastic bag, okay, and I believe this is a 25-pound bag. Yep, 25-pound bag, FCE. I'll post a link in the video description down there below. This is phosphorus. This is one of the most consumed minerals on the farm. That's why we have two bags of it, one there and one there, and I actually made an extra bin for phosphorus. So there's one on this side and there's one on the other side. The other minerals that the cows like to consume are calcium. This is what's lacking in the soil. Sodium. There's more phosphorus because I know I'm going to need it. And these are just the minerals that I have for replacement. Chloride, I believe, is what that is. So we're going to reload the mineral feeder. I'll show you guys, and then we're going to tow it over to the cows. The way that that works is I've got a tow rope on here, and you can use a chain also. The mineral feeder comes with a chain here, and I've got a tow rope on here. This is just like a hemp rope, and I throw it over the ball on the four-wheeler, and this thing just simply scoots across the ground. It just slides. It is a slide. Why overthink it when we can just slide it to the next pasture? Super simple. This follows the cows in every paddock that they go into, except for a few test paddocks that I'm running to see if the grass does better with the minerals or without the minerals. Now the cows are pooping and peeing out the minerals that they ate from yesterday today, so I don't know if that's going to work out or not. So let's reload her and drag her on into the pasture. Guys, the cows go nuts for this stuff. It's like candy to them, but it is what they're lacking in their diet. Conventional wisdom puts a mix out. In other words, a specific mix of minerals for the cows. My wisdom says, let the cows tell me what they're missing and build a custom mix for the cows. So if you've got all your minerals mixed together, as in a salt block or a mineral block that you typically would put out in your pasture, you just don't know what's lacking, and the cows may not be getting the appropriate nutrition, or the soil may not be getting the appropriate nutrition. What they need in here is what is lacking out here. release our chain and drop these flaps down. Again, the cows will just take their nose and simply lift up on this flap. This flap keeps the rainwater out and keeps from damaging the minerals that are in here and making them turn into little bricks, okay? So the first time I had to refill this was probably about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and I'm making a mental note and I'm actually taking pictures of what the cows are consuming the most of. Your farm will be different than my farm. Your property will be different than my property. Your soil will be different than my soil, and your cows will be different than my cows. So I need to take note of what the cows are consuming the most of, and then when I order my next pallet of minerals, I'll know what to get. Only get 1 bag of the thing that they don't use much and get about 5 bags or a year's supply of what they'll use the most. Now they're gonna eat different minerals in the winter time versus the summertime, so you've got to take notes and keep records. Let's tow this over into the pasture. Morning, girls. Come on. Come on, girls. Woo! As you can see, that was a cattle move. Literally, open a gate, cows go through, close the gate behind them. This section of pasture right here is about 3 acres. The reason I'm giving them a larger section of pasture, typically we're looking at 1 acre to 1.5 acres for 50 cows here. Reason I'm giving them a larger section of pasture is because we need them in the shade today. It's gonna be 87 degrees this afternoon, and these are black cows. They need to be in the shade. They have already swarmed the mineral feeder. So let's talk about placement of the mineral feeder. And if it doesn't work, I don't know, call me a fool, look at them. The placement of the mineral feeder depends on where you want to stimulate grass growth. So this is only gonna be here for about 24 hours for the cows to get their minerals, right? Well, we want the minerals accessible to the cows, but we wanna put it in a spot. That's the bull, by the way, I wanna keep an eye on him. We want to put it in a spot that has a few weeds in it. Let me show you where I parked it the last time. And what this does is the cows basically destroy the weeds with their hooves and stimulate good grass growth. Look, check it out. Hey, dude. So this is exactly where the mineral feeder was last time. And we've got awesome fresh grass right in here. We got some big blue stem, we got some fescue, we got awesomeness going on right there. This is where I just parked it, and there's some Cerisi lespedeza growing in here, and this is a little bit less palatable. It's a legume, which helps to fix nitrogen, but it's not a good legume, okay? The cows don't like it as much, and they'll get in this area and trample the snot out of it. If you've got a bare spot on your farm and you park this right here, that's where the poop's gonna be, where the cows are hanging out, by the water cooler pretty much. So you can see these guys are going right to the phosphorus that I put in and right to the sodium that I put into the mineral feeder. That is today's content. That's what we're doing on the farm. We are replenishing the minerals on our farm through the gut of the cow, not through the local co-op and petroleum-based fertilizers. Once again, nearly 7 years since we've had any fertilizer on this farm that's chemical-based. In other words, any fertilizer other than manure or the super soil that we're spraying the farm with. And super soil is re-inoculating this soil with the microbes that fix nitrogen. We're doing it different here, guys. I have a social media business along with the farm, which affords me the opportunity to test things out and tell you guys what works, what doesn't work, and how I'm doing this with my cattle operation. No medications, no steroids, no wormers, no nothing, no outside input other than cows and grass and minerals and microbes. Guys, thanks a lot for joining me here on the Stoney Ridge Farm Channel. Hope this helps you in your operation. If you decide to do a free choice mineral feeder, there'll be a link down the video description. Be sure when you call them, tell them Stoney Ridge Farmer sent you. They're not a sponsor of the channel. Love to have them as a sponsor of the channel. Great people, and you can order this stuff and have it shipped right to your door. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot. It is more expensive than going and buying a salt block, but it's the right thing to do so your cows don't overconsume the wrong stuff and walk around here bloated. Cool. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge. Woo!
Yo, come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge.
Is it foggy or is my lens foggy? That have been done out west. There's studies. I'm standing in a cow pie. Get out of here. Guys, thanks for watching.